Fantastic. Moving on, question number 3 comes in here from Margaret. Hi there, Margaret. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community and for sending us in your question. Margaret says, we haven't moved home in a long time, but we're thinking about the future and downsizing to a bungalow maybe in a couple of years. One recently came up for sale, but we're not on the market yet, so we have been put off viewing by the agent who is selling it. If we were to take the plunge to sell, where can we go to get some more information on the process? And should we sell with the agent who is selling this bungalow because hopefully it will make our lives easier? Well, that's a great question there, Margaret, and great that you're thinking about the future with regards to your home move, because the ultimate point is that gives you a lot of time to think about how to plan it and structure it properly. Okay, so you can get things like your seller's pack in place right up front so that you're being fully transparent with your buyer when they come to eventually look at the property and with a view to buying it. But also you're taking the pressure off yourself, where so many people did I experience when I was an estate agent that, you know, there was this mad rush to find a property, or they put their property up for sale because they knew they needed to sell because it was too small, or they had to downsize because it was getting too unmanageable. And then they were looking around and there was nothing available, and there was all that anxiety going, am I going to be homeless? That's the big question that everybody asks, you know, am I going to be homeless? You're not, but, you know, of course it's a challenge when you're trying to find the right property in the right location, particularly if it's a small area and it's a bungalow, because unfortunately they're not building as many bungalows as they should be, in my opinion, but there we are. So one of the things that's come out of this question, Margaret, which I'm quite surprised about, is that you've mentioned that you've been put off by the agent who's selling the bungalow because you haven't got your property on the market. And this is something that would actually automatically normally appeal to an estate agent, where you have a property in the area that they're covering. One would suggest they'd naturally be interested in selling it for you because, you know, that's how they get paid, right? They charge you a fee for doing the work for you. They find you a great buyer, and as a consequence, you then pay them a fee for the work that they've done, and that's all absolutely above board and fair. So I'm surprised that you've been put off by the agent that's you know, selling the bungalow, because ultimately, as I say, there's a vested interest in there. But what that could mean is that maybe the property that you have is outside of their area. Maybe the agent that's selling the bungalow is outside of your area as well. And that normally means that the agent doesn't have enough local knowledge to give you the best possible service for selling your home, which is actually a good thing. Okay, so I would look at maybe speaking to 2 or 3 local agents, preferably 3, in your local area, and asking them to come out and do what's known as a market appraisal or evaluation on your property with a view to sale. Okay. Now, if you want more information in a very low pressure kind of way, and in a way that will educate you on everything that's involved, we actually have a learning center built into the WiggyWam platform. So all you need to do is go to wiggywam.co.uk, register there as a user of the platform. Okay. And what that will do is it will give you access to our learning center. So you can look up learning center there, and we've recorded a whole bunch of training videos in there that will tell you exactly what you need to do when it comes to being a seller of a property, and actually what's involved in the whole moving house process. Okay. Now, I think there's like 5, 6, 7 hours worth of content on there, which is quite a lot. So I don't expect you to sit there and watch it all in one day. But the point of me telling you that is that when you haven't moved for a long period of time, or if you've never done it before, then actually having someone sit down and spend the time with you to walk you through each of these steps is actually really beneficial, because the issue for most estate agents is they just don't have time, unfortunately, to spend that with you, to walk you through everything. You can also grab yourself a copy of Home Buyers Secrets. Okay, I know it says home buyers and you will be a seller. It does say it works for sellers too, all right. But the point being, in that book, you're going to get a really good understanding of what's involved in the home buying and selling process. So when you're coming to buy this bungalow, what do you need to do to prepare yourself and get yourself into this bungalow, hopefully as soon as possible, or find another one that may or may not be for sale. We cover a lot of that. We're finding stuff which is off market. Okay, or actually putting yourself in a position where you get a better price for the property that you're selling. It all depends upon your personal financial situation, right? But I think there's a huge element of work that can be done by you in terms of watching the training videos or reading the book, or maybe both, that will really open your mind as to the possibilities of making this house move effective. Okay. And I'm really excited for you, because I think that the knowledge and information that you'll gain, and without blowing our own trumpet, but it will be far better than what you'll expect from most of your local property people. And that's just because, I've had a lot of experience in a lot of different professions within the property industry over a long period of time. So I share that with you willingly. And as I say, you can access those training videos for free. The book isn't going to cost you a lot of money, but we'll happily ship one of those to you ASAP should you want it. Okay. I just want to double check that I'm answering all of this question. In terms of the slight difficulty you're going to have in terms of the buying process of the bungalow, by all means, I would go and have a look at it. Okay. The reason you want to go and have a look at it is because the biggest thing I saw for buyers of bungalows, particularly those that were downsizing, Margaret, was that there was a real shock when it came to looking at the size of the property they were thinking about moving into. So there was this kind of logical decision of, yeah, we need a house to move into. We need a bungalow to move into. We need smaller space. We need smaller gardens, less maintenance, preferably something that's a bit more modern so it's easy to maintain. So that was the logical side, right? And then the emotional side was, you open the door, they walk in and they go, oh, this is a bit small. And I'm like, well, yes, it is compared to your 5-bedroom detached house, but that's what you want, right? You want this smaller accommodation. And sometimes the sort of initial culture shock, for want of a better expression, when you walk into that property will be like, okay, how do I feel about living in this environment for probably the next 20, 30, 40 years? I mean, I don't know how old you are, Margaret. I wouldn't ask, because it's rude to ask a lady how old you are. But the point being, for most people, when they move into a bungalow, they are usually there for the longest period of any house move. Okay. And so it's, making that plunge, you're probably going to feel uncomfortable for the first 2 or 3 months. But after that, you'll feel right as rain, and you'll be like, okay, this is our new home. But go and have a look at it first of all, see if you can get over that initial culture shock, and then do what you can to get your property on the market and market it as soon as possible. Now, if you've got a bit of time, if this bungalow isn't for you, but it will give you enough time to start putting the feelers out there, getting the agents round, getting your market appraisal reports back from the agents, reviewing who's going to do you a good job, reading the book that I mentioned, Home Buyer Secrets, homebuyersecrets.co.uk, also the learning centre at WiggyWam.co.uk. And once you consume that information, you'll be far more knowledgeable. And what I find is that educated buyers are far less likely to make mistakes than people who are just leaving it all to chance and just not really having a steer in the destiny of their property sale and the property that they're actually going to buy. Okay, so hope that helps you, Margaret. I'm really excited for you. I think it's going to be a great next step, and I hope it all works out for you. But if there's anything else that we can do to support you, shoot me an email, happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk, and I'd be glad to support you as much as we possibly can. All right, good luck. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us towards the end of today's webinar. Thank you so much indeed for joining me, as always. If you want to send us in a question for a future webinar, please do so via email. Email address is happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. You can also go to our website, which is www.wiggywam.co.uk. That's wiggywam.co.uk. You can access a whole suite of resources there. We've got blogs, we've got forums, we've got broadcasts, videos, training videos, all sorts of things within the website there. Feel free to indulge. You can also find us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at @WiggyWam_UK. That's at @WiggyWam_UK. You can shoot us your questions via Twitter. Also, we'll be here the same time, same place next week, doing week number 29 of our WiggyWam Get Your Property Questions Answered webinar. It's a super privilege to be able to offer this to you and help and support you in your property journey. If there's anything else that we can do, please do let me know. But for now, I'll say goodbye and good luck and God bless. Thanks ever so much indeed, guys. You take care. Bye-bye.